the saga of the kryptonite life. When some of the days go wrong and then some of the days go right. Meaning life can make you weak, but we can walk you to the light. The life where dreams come true are just the nightmares of the hype. Where love and hate are roommates, pleasure and pain are friends. Peace and war and lovers, insane and insane are twins. Cause I want it all and nothing ain't enough for me. And all I need is love, but why y'all all up under me? Plus I would like to see every single lady's sex face. At the same time, man, I'm looking for my soulmate. I feel so religious, spirits living up above. But I gotta admit, I want my chariot with doves. And I could be your Superman and I could set you free. But honestly, I need the cash and I'm charging a fee. For my cigarettes and water, my fruit juice and my alcohol, my salads and my pork chop. I got high cholesterol. Lois said she loved me, then she hit me up for child support. Lex baby mama ain't gon' never take his ass to court. Got me in this nightclub, trying to get my mind right. When she bent over, I was looking at my whole life. So once upon a time on a planet called Earth, a man dug in his pockets just to see what he was worth. Well, rabbit is more than Eric B. and Rakim. Then the infinite power that he was holding within got him kinda confused, obligated, misused. Got in front of a microphone a couple times and he spewed his whole guts. Some of the things he loved and some of the things he lost. Some of the folk he hate, some of the folk he trust. And thus mixtape became an album. Your first installment has started. You're welcome.
What's happening? L.A.R. movement still moving. I'm sick. I've been sick all week. So bear with me on this, all right? But what I'm about to talk about, it sticks to the topic. America's been fighting a losing battle. From every angle that I look at this country, whether it's the financial part, the racial part, the relationship part, the political part, the idea of power part, technology, innovation, it's fighting a losing battle. And what I've noticed is, they tell you don't learn sometimes, you don't learn from winning. You learn from losing. And shout out to Bill Belichick, who should have gotten to the Hall of Fame, but they hated on him for cheating, right? So, but sometimes when you cheat to win, you don't actually know how to win. He's not a representation of that, but that's part of the issue. And I think America has been cheating to win so long that it actually doesn't know how to win. And that's a problem. I'm a boxing fan. Like, I'm a real big, heavy boxing fan. And I say that to say this. For a very long time in boxing, if you took steroids or performance enhancing drugs, or you cheated in some type of way, with the hand wraps or whatever, you already fought. The fight is over. They gave you the win. They didn't, for the longest time, they didn't take back the win. So you still won the fight, but you cheated to win. You get what I'm saying? And for people who cheat, they remember that. They remember that, oh man, if I get caught and I still win, it's still a win. So I say that to say this in the American sense. Financially, America has been cheating to win. And it's been cheating to win so long that it doesn't actually know how to play the game. And now when people see, gold is at a quote unquote all-time high, right? And since gold is at an all-time high, silver is tracking. But gold and silver have never actually tracked right in my lifetime. You get what I'm saying? So even in that sense, gold is worth it's supposed to be worth like 10 times what silver is. I want to say 10 times. I could be wrong. It's either 10 and a half, but I think it's a tenth of what gold is. So I say that to say, if gold is $100 an ounce, silver should be $10 an ounce, right? So if gold is 5,000 an ounce, silver should be 500 an ounce. But because this country's been cheating the system so long, it can't do that, because they would say Fort Knox is filled with gold, not silver. So we got to inflate the price of gold. But on top of that, people say, oh man, what if the price of gold is inflated to 5,000 an ounce? What if America owns all this gold? Well, can America pay off the 32, it's not even 32, it's like $38 trillion of debt and inflated gold? Possibly, but does it have the gold? That's the question. And I said I'm under the weather, so if y'all don't know, that's what's going on. So part of this is an issue. So now we got another question. I have another question. Can America catch up in innovation and technology? Stay okay. Yeah, for sure. I thought I had the comments thing set up. I'm sorry, fam. I'm so sorry. Now you look at education, like just recently in the school system, they decided to take the phones out of school. Why? Because they actually need smarter kids to become smart adults. And what's the problem with that? Those smart kids ain't gonna be available for another decade, for the most part. So how is America gonna make it from now to this decade? You don't know. Nobody truly knows how this country is gonna make it in the next 5 to 10 years. And that's an issue. Because you want the current, like people, we blame the quote unquote baby boomers because they're in power. So you got people basically 80 to 60 running the country, pretty much. All of them are running into the ground. And for me, I'm like, this is a losing battle, because you got a bunch of people who really got in power because of nepotism. They got in power because of nepotism and networks, and they actually don't know how to do business. I was listening to Saint in the Center, Marquette, and he was talking about something about, I forgot what the show was, but he was talking to a guy, and he said and at some point it was about slavery, and he said, to a degree, he says, Black Americans say, we built the country, but they were the workers. And the workers don't really get as much credit as the CEOs, who were the visionaries, quote unquote, the slave owners. But I was like, that's not necessarily true, because we look at CEOs and the CEO mentality as some smart business owner, but that's been for the last maybe 60, 70 years. The smartest people in the room were actually people who did the work. See, CEOs used to be guys who built the business from scratch. They knew the ins and outs from the bottom to the top. Now CEOs are, but for the past maybe 60, 70 years, CEOs have been people who just know, let's just say, the top third of a company. They don't know the bottom 2/3. So I say that to say American business has been out of pocket because most of the people who thought they were the business minds and the smart people, they didn't know actually how to run a business. They knew how to just go play golf and go be in meetings and look at the numbers and not know where the numbers actually come from. You know, right. So now that's another reason why I say America is fighting a losing battle, because not from your political aspect to your corporate aspect, it's pretty much all old idiots. That's it. Because if you never thought about this, even when they were talking about make America great again, there were no golden parachutes for CEOs in Jim Crow. There was no, hey man, we're gonna get on the yacht and we're gonna charge the company $5 million for this yacht party to act like we're doing business, but there's really no business coming from it. Stupid stuff. So that's a whole nother issue. And then going down to the average everyday American, America's been fighting a losing battle with inflation. It's not making sense. For some people had incomes were ahead of the cost of living, and some people's incomes are chasing the cost of living, and some people's incomes are right at the cost of living, which means the vast majority of America is living paycheck to paycheck, or they may be living paycheck to paycheck, but they're already in debt, so it's paycheck to paycheck plus debt. True, that's true. Hey, Marty, man. Thanks, dog. I'm trying. I'm back. I'm gonna be back, Marty. I just been sick. I'm Martin. I keep saying Marty. I'm bugging. Thank you. But now, we're at a point where, and there's no nice way to say this. That's why you hear the younger, let's just say, old millennials to young zillennials, or old zillennials talking about the price of homes. Homes aren't necessarily the issue. The issue is quality and pricing. Right. Gotcha. Okay, I got you. So now you got these people like, man, we can't afford this, we can't afford that, we can't afford a life, we can't afford kids. The truth of the matter is, and I'm gonna say this very slowly, in one aspect, what America did was in a slick way, separate people from their family to make everybody individuals, to make more money off of everybody as a taxpayer. But if the families were actually closer together, in all honesty, it'll still be affordable to live. So actually the goal would probably be if all of your family that could actually be teammates could come together. And that's the issue with America, because America has built this distrust of family to the point where you don't trust your family. You don't trust your family to watch your kids, so you don't have to pay daycare. You don't trust your family to fix your car or do home repairs. You get what I'm saying? You might not have, and the crazy part is, you might not have that because of the distance. But you can't trust your family to teach you how to do things. Like you might be going to school, or you might be in the real world, and you have nobody to navigate the adult world because you don't trust your family to tell you, hey, go this way, don't go this way, do this, don't do this. This is the problem that we have. The serious problem. Now, I would say this: the vast majority of America isn't built to be individuals. The vast majority isn't. So that's a whole nother thing where you see these people cracking up and having mental issues and mental problems and drug problems because they're not built to actually be out there a go-getter, quote unquote, on their own. It's not what they're about. So then we have this other aspect, of America fighting a losing battle. America's fighting a losing battle on a racial aspect too, because that's part of the trust and non-trust of America is, hey man, listen, those people over there are the good guys, and those people over there are the bad guys. And now the good guy, bad guy, it's kind of been mixed up, and now it's like a hodgepodge. And now people are trying to figure out if you're a villain or a hero or anti-hero. They have no idea now. They have no idea. So the whole racial aspect, you have like white America, we want control over America again. And it's like, you've had the reins forever. Nobody has took control. You've actually just ruined it. And now, and what a lot of people don't want to hear is America's issue racially isn't an American issue. It's a world. It's a colonization issue. It's if America fails, the veil of white supremacy fails. That's that racial issue. And because because a lot of white America's problems are self-inflicted. It's not like everybody else. You get what I mean? So we have a racial, that's their racial issue. And because of the financial part, it's an issue. And, white supremacy is basically in debt. It's not broke, it's in debt. So you can't continue to be supreme. Now, even with the Hispanic issue, it's a losing battle because you have this whole ICE deportation thing, and you have a lot of Hispanic people who are working for ICE. So we're going to see how that plays out in the next 5 to 10 years, because that one aspect of wanting to be involved in being white, and another aspect of a bunch of sellouts in their own community. I think, and they were already like fractured anyways. That's going to be a losing battle. I don't think there's going to be as a big camaraderie to be a Hispanic anymore. I think they're going to have delineation too, just in my personal opinion. And they're going to figure out who's been throwing each other under the bus. Then you have the whole our black issue. We have a delineation thing going on. And some people, some people like it and some people don't. Most people that are black Americans are cool with it. Most people who are not black Americans aren't, from what I see. So America's fighting a losing battle because, in the Asian community, it's a similar thing. They have their issue because of the model minority thing, plus involving itself with racism. Plus, it's taking their model minority status out because they're finding out that white America doesn't want them in their institutions because white America doesn't want to compete. Plus the whole thing with, people are at war with China, which I said again was a self-inflicted injury for America because most of the business and innovation China has, America gave it to them. So America is fighting a losing battle. It's just fighting a losing battle. So now we have a whole nother thing. You know, this country was already divided, it's going to continue to be divided, but it's going to get more specific. That's what's going to happen. It's going to get more specific. Like, no, I'm over here, you over there. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to continue to be. So now we have that issue, right? Now, it's another part of this, outside of that part. Why I said America's fighting a losing battle. America's fighting a losing battle because you have people who want to be agents of chaos. They want, oh, now we're gonna take over and let our violence take over, and that's the issue too. This concept that we're gonna, have another war and another civil war, and and then we're gonna build from that. That's not gonna happen. I hate to break the news to you. That's not gonna happen. This idea that, oh man, because people have this thing that you have a lot of Americans who are gun nuts, who are political nuts, who are racist people, and a lot of people who just are angry and want war. But I say this to all you people like that. Y'all are not built for the war that y'all wanted that y'all always say y'all want to instigate. That's not what you want. That's what you think you want, but if you actually got what you want, you'll break down into tears. A lot of you people out here are, there are a lot of people out here who have this need to feel powerful, and that's the issue right there. America is fighting a losing battle with the idea of power. See, America's soft power is gone. America's, bullying power almost gone. And you know how they say power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. People believe being American is being powerful, and being powerful, people have been American in a negative way. That they went out into the world and they've been complete utter jerks because under the guise of America. And I say this, in the best way I can say this. Just because you're on offense and somebody's on defense, that don't make you powerful. Just because you throwing punches all the time does not mean you can't get hit back. And you wouldn't throw as many punches if you got hit back. What happened was, people believe American is to be American is to be a bully, and people believe that to be American you can bully people and they just got to stand down and take it. And you haven't done enough American history to realize that pretty much every time people decided to stand up against America inside this country and outside this country, America took an L. That's pretty much what happened. It's not the other way around. This country has lost more wars than y'all, and lost more more times than trying to bully people than people really want to deal with. So now we have an issue because, like I said, it's fighting a losing battle. Because at some point, people are going to start hitting back. And I don't think America is ready for that. I really don't. Now, and that has to do with arrogance. But then we have a whole nother aspect of this too. I said America's fighting a losing battle. It's I'm really trying to be nice when I say what I'm about to say. Boomerang bully. Um, America can't compete, and that's been a thing inside of America that we've known for a very long time. But America has a hard time with competition. And people don't want it. People have a hard time hearing that. But America has never been good at competition. That's why, they don't want to bring the Chinese electric car market to America. It's probably not just that, but they also don't want Chinese people to have probably, man, happy birthday. They probably don't want Chinese people having a map of America with all their cars. But that's a whole thing. Now, I'm 14 years older than you. It's all good. You're doing good. So that's a whole nother aspect. I know that people saw that with the idea of the what is that? The Olympics. I'm sorry. The Olympics. People are getting closer and closer to competing with America in the Olympics. And one of the reasons, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna use this as a reference for America's arrogance. And I talked about this before. The dream team, basketball. See, people forget that American kids and young adults were going up against the world in the Olympics, and and everybody in the other countries, they were considered professionals. So in 1992, the Dream Team is the first time America used their best professionals against other countries' best professionals, and it was a massacre. But by about 2000, 2004, the Dream Team got comfortable. First of all, the Dream Team showed how big of a gap it was. Now, if the Dream Team in 96, they did good, 2000, it started going downhill. Because America took their foot off the gas, and I don't want to, what I'm saying, I want to rest. So we didn't have our best players. We have tier 2 and tier 3 and tier 4. And then America started getting beat. America lost, right? And then when America lost, then we like, okay, we got to get our best people back in there. And that took a while to recruit them. But by that time, you gave the rest of the world confidence. It's too late. And that's a synopsis for American competition with the global markets regardless. America got too confident. It got cocky. It was like, we could send the B team and the C team and the JV. And you gave the rest of the world confidence. And now they like, nah, we good. We good. So now you got a problem. So it's fighting a losing battle, because now you gave the world the one thing that most people need most to compete, and that's confidence. Your arrogance gave the world confidence, and now the world don't look at you as the big bad man no more. The creme de la creme, the best of the best. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. So now we got an issue. What are you going to do? And I don't think that the people in positions in this country can do anything about this now. Because like I said, you don't know how to win without cheating. You don't know how to compete because you're not hungry no more. And you got so comfortable. You everything is supposed to be a win when it's not. I said it in the beginning. America didn't lose enough. So That's why it's fighting a losing battle. And you can tell, even in the business context, you can tell because America is fighting a losing battle because it's making the same mistakes over and over and over again. The housing market had an issue 10, 15 years ago, making the same mistakes over and over and over again today. The automobile industry, the car industry, had an issue 10, 15 years ago. Where we at? Same issue over and over and over again. The country had a debt issue for at least 22, 24 years. And it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse because you're not learning from your lessons. You haven't learned from it. Yeah, like you said, the drug war, the same issue. We have a war on drugs. No, you don't. You have a war on sobriety. I don't know if the STD is the same issue because they say people not having sex and making babies as much. So I can't. That one is interesting. Oh, and speaking of sobriety, excuse me, I'm sick if people don't know. Speaking of sobriety, this issue with the alcohol industry, man, people aren't drinking as much. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing yet, because the drug issues that America has is a problem. You know, you were dying, ODing. It was rare to overdose on alcohol, but now people are overdosing on opioids and fentanyl so fast. Shit. I'm sick. So, but it's a losing battle. And I have to preface that by saying this. What are the good things that America is doing? Like what not doing right now. What are the things that America has been doing right for the last 10 to 15 years? Hell, 20 if you want to make it that way. What has this country been doing right? And for me, that's a hard question because I'm racking my brain. I'm trying to figure it out. Because from my point of view, America has been fighting everything that has been necessary to right the ship. America fought against making business competitive, so you can stop this monopolies and fake monopolies. It's fought against fixing the infrastructure in this country. It's fought against that. It's fought against stretching the military too thin. It's fought against that. It's fought against putting this country, making the country fiscally responsible. It's fought against that. I'm dead serious. It's fought against innovation. You know, it's fought against innovation. So what is this country doing that's going to actually cause a win? I don't know. You know, they still fighting with the healthcare thing. Oh yeah, and let me add something else to this. Another reason America's fighting a losing battle: cowardice. This whole thing with the Epstein file and all that. How you get 3 million pages? How you get 3? That sounds like AI to me. That sounds like AI to me. You got 3 million pages of information. If you got 3 million pages of information, people need to be in jail. If that's what's going on. Because you should have, with 3 million pages of information, you should have names, dates, ages, you should have all kinds of information. And I have to do this in this way. Why I say America is fighting a losing battle. It's weird to have 3 million pages of information on quote unquote Epstein Island, but where's the propaganda? Where's the TV time like Diddy and Baby O? Where's that at? And I say that to say this: America's fighting a losing battle because America doesn't want to deal with its problems when they're a certain color. And that's always been the reality. So you'll never be able to fix the problems in this country because the problems that are caused by people of a certain color. And I ain't talking about because I mean white in general. Don't give me he's Jewish, he white. His family is from Europe. Okay. People don't want to deal with that concept of, hey, that's why what was the Mario guy, Luigi. I'm saying Mario, Luigi Mangione, whatever. When he shot the guy, one of the higher ups at that health insurance company. Y'all don't want to deal with that level of fraud. The same thing with the Somalis. The Somalis were scamming. I knew, they were scamming. That's for sure. But when they say, "Oh yeah, the head of the ring was this white lady," I'm black. I already knew somebody white at the top of that. I already knew that. You can't fix America's problem because you can't address the people that are creating America's problems. We knew that for a very long time. You're not fixing the financial crime in America because of the people who are doing it. Think about it. The government bailed out the banks when they were stealing. The government bailed out the car industry when they were basically price gouging. You get what I'm saying? The government bailed out real estate companies, mortgages. Oh, because they're too big to fail. Whatever. That's a problem. And this continuous problem of not addressing who needs to be addressed is an issue. Same thing we're talking about when you're talking about the quote unquote war on drugs. It's you never wanted to actually stop the drugs from coming into this country. You just wanted to arrest a certain demographic for it. Just that, like, even now with this whole ICE situation, right? People are coming here illegally, legally, whatever. And even partially the attack in Venezuela. The government been in bed with these cartels for years. You cannot tell me whether it's Mexican, Colombian, Panamanian, like Venezuelan. You can't tell me, the government don't know about all these drugs. It's too prevalent here. It's too prevalent in America for them not to be involved. And the same thing happened with Vietnam. So, America's fighting a losing battle because America does not want to say I'm involved in America doesn't want to say it's involved in the destruction of America. See, you can't put a profile on corporate criminals. You can't put a profile on COINTELPRO and Iran Contra. You don't want to put a profile on what do you call that? Gambling rings. You don't want to put a profile on massage parlors and all that. Like, you don't want to put a profile on the debauchery in America. So since you can't put a profile on it, it's going to continue to fester. And I've said this before, especially, the idea of American criminality. If you don't get the people that are causing all the issues, and you keep letting them off the hook, they get worse. The crime gets worse. They get bolder. They get braver. They get away with more. They do more. You let the destruction of America grow. Politically, you let it grow. We've been knowing that the politicians in DC have been stupid for years. We've been knowing that. Going back to, watch this. Going back to the Oklahoma City bomb, right? There's no way a black man could have bought all of that material that he bought. And then you fast forward, to 9/11. There is no way black men could have went into an aviation school and said, we just need to learn how to fly. We don't need to learn how to land, and not have an issue. Fast forward, and I say that because the war on drugs was going on this whole time. There is no way you could say, hey man, we're gonna just let people into the country willy-nilly. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Because I remember as a child, and some of y'all might not be old enough to remember this, they used to have like, not just documentaries, but they used to have like 60-minute type shows where they would tell you, hey man, what's going on in America. And they'll tell you, hey man, well, this drugs is being smuggled. These drugs are being smuggled in Florida. These drugs are being smuggled in Texas. These drugs are being smuggled to Tennessee. These drugs are being smuggled to California. And they would tell you exactly which ones. And you'd be like, well, how did these news shows get this information? Because a lot of y'all don't remember this. If you old enough, you remember this. When George Bush did the commercial in the White House, I keep calling it a commercial, but when George Bush was sitting at the White House desk and he held up a big plastic bag of crack. And he was like, yo, this is what's a scourge of the street, a scourge in America. This is crack and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, so think about this. And I'm saying this for a reason. And what was that? It was the 80s or the 90s, because he was president from like 88 to 92. I don't remember which year it was. From the late 80s, early 90s, the president was holding up drugs in the White House and telling you what was going on, to the 2020s where President's son was doing drugs in the White House. Now, mind you, drugs had been done in the White House previously years ago. That they threw all of that on JFK and Gerald Ford, if I'm not mistaken, because I forget if Betty Ford was alcoholic or on drugs. I forget which one. But that concept has been going across the board. And that's why I keep saying America's fighting a losing battle. Because it doesn't want to deal with what was really going on. And that's a problem. To me, that's a problem. When I started with the education part, what's happening? When I started with the education part, that's an issue. You fast forward to everything else, it stays an issue. Like, I'm gonna say something. I think that we don't pay attention to enough. Do y'all remember when Pontiac stopped being a part of GM? Remember Scion used to have those cars? You don't see Scions no more? You know what that made? You know what that was the beginning of? By the time and Plymouth, Pontiac, Scion. That was the end of the affordable car. That's what that was. How affordable? You know, it's rare. It's hard to find an affordable car right out the gate now. Buick moved to China, right? And when China got their cars together, they kicked Buick back over here. That was the end of the affordable car, and I say that to say something. Oldsmobile, thank you. That was the end, and that started a trend. Like, I hear people talk about the affordability of like homes and apartments, but I don't hear people say, you know what, they stay in a janky apartment. I don't hear people talking about staying in a janky apartment no more. It's like, nah, like I say that to say this: America is fighting a losing battle because America is used to a certain lifestyle. And the problem is America became a real housewife, the Real Housewives of America, because my lifestyle is here and I just can't go back. So the American problem is, I'm accustomed to the American lifestyle, and it looks like the American lifestyle is coming to an end, and I can't dial back my lifestyle because this is what I'm accustomed to. And what happens when people get into that space, they crash out. Because of the humility of maybe, just maybe, I ain't got it like that no more. Just maybe, I ain't as important as I once was. So now we got that issue. And that's why it's going to continuously be a losing battle. So I'm going to leave it at that, man. I'm going to try to go get on a bike or something at the gym and get this cold up out of me. You know, y'all have a good one. I'm going to make some videos and drop them later. But, like, share, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
Spoken from the lips of the young, of the old, bear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, plus when I'm drunk, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends is Justice League. Only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what, we had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I'll finish it.
Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out.
listen. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly.